Hey everyone, I'm here today to take a look at the new Jurassic World Chaos Theory Wild War Pachyrhinosaurus from Mattel. And finally we have a Pachyrhinosaurus that's correctly labelled on the box. The first one that came out, I think it was labelled as like a Sinoceratops or something like that for some reason. And here is the packaging with, you've got a road and some mountains in the background. It basically looks like where Darius and Benjamin were doing their road trip when they were going to see Sammy, that kind of background. See a picture of Darius in the corner there and the Allosaurus and Pachyrhinosaurus. Epic evolution, all this stuff. And on the back, just a wall of text in different languages. And then a few tiny little pictures of the other dinosaurs in the line. I don't know why they don't make it bigger. Like, you think they have like really big pictures of the other dinosaurs that are available to make them look more attractive to buy rather than just tiny in the background there. And they could do with making the background in general look better, like the vintage Kenner toys did, where the dinosaur would be in a diorama. This is really boring packaging with just walls of pointless text here that no one reads anyway. So here's the Pachyrhinosaurus itself. The tail swivels where you have to plug it in, because in the packaging the tail's disconnected. The legs go forward and backwards at the back, and they do have a pivot out to the side, which is something that they've been gradually phasing out of a lot of the dinosaurs. But this one has the pivot there. And then the front legs also go out to the side on kind of a ball joint, as well as forward and backwards. And then the head moves up and down, but that's connected to the action feature. But you can get it in different poses. It's a tight enough joint there that if you roll this thing on the back that activates the noises in the action feature, it will kind of go down in various different poses to different degrees. And I like that because quite often these action features you press the button and it makes the head flip up or down or whatever, and you don't really have much of an option of how to pose it. But with the wheel action feature here, it's actually really good at holding in different poses. So this is the best action feature button I think that they've designed so far, and I hope they stick with this. So it gives you so many more options for posing, and the head also swivels there as well. So there's a really nice amount of articulation on this actually. This is actually the first dinosaur we see in the Chaos Theory cartoon, and it's nice that dinosaurs like this that have been in the toy line for years are finally getting some focus, whereas they never really appeared in the movies. I really like this toy, but there's one thing that I'm not keen on, and that is that the head is a very soft rubbery plastic. Like, that's really squidgy, that frill there, and I don't like that. I'd rather it was a harder plastic. And look how much that bends. Yeah, I know it hurts. It's a pretty different sculpt from the first Pachyrhinosaurus that we got. It's kind of taller at the back than at the front, whereas that first Pachyrhinosaurus had a bit of a hunch there. It actually made it seem like slightly taller at the front than at the back. The back legs are longer and the front legs are shorter than on the first Pachyrhinosaurus. And you can see on that first one it has these horns on the forehead there that the new one doesn't have. And this lump was kind of covered in flesh on the original, whereas on the new one it looks like exposed bone, even though it's brown and not white like the other bones, but it still doesn't look like the same colour flesh as the rest of the head. And in general that frill has a different design. It's got more of the typical kind of design you see on the Triceratops and things like that than the first Pachyrhinosaurus does. I do think this new one looks better, but I do still like that original Pachyrhinosaurus as well. It's got a very parrot-like colour scheme on that first one, whereas the new one's brown, which is more like it looks in the cartoon. So the first one made sound effects as well. And really you could have these as a male and a female, seeing as they look a bit different like that. So you can just see the difference there with the sculpt. Even the body type, like the way the legs and the body are positioned, the posture, all very different. And you can see the mouth on the original one is closed, whereas on the new one it's open a bit. There were some nice patterns on the frill of that first one. I always thought the first one had kind of a parrot look about it. Very different paint job on the two. You can see the new one's mostly brown, whereas the first one was green. That had kind of cream stripes on the back, whereas this new one has these darker brown, almost like a tint of purple to the brown spots on the back there. And the bone horns on the first one were black, whereas they're white on this new one. Upcode. And here it is with the Allosaurus, and we see these two battling it out in the first episode of Chaos Theory. So thanks for joining me for this look at the Chaos Theory Pachyrhinosaurus. It's nice to get a new Pachyrhinosaurus after all these years. It was actually one of the earliest toys in the line back in 2018. But it's a really nice update. I do like the sculpt, and the action features really nice. Now that Mattel have actually started releasing some new stuff in the UK, I can do some more reviews, so I'll catch you again soon.